all of you. So yesterday we saw that how to set it up Jenkins. Okay, and in the Jenkins we saw a basic task. Then we saw how we can deploy a web server. Okay, so this was our index.html page, and we tried to deploy with the help of the Jenkins pipeline. So let me just quickly show you that part again. So we have to access always the Jenkins on the public IP port 8080. Okay. And whenever you are accessing the Jenkins, they are going to ask you for the username and password. So during installation, whatever the username and password you written, that you have to write it always. Once the sign in will be saved successful. So you see that there is a job we created yesterday. Okay, web server deployment job. If you select this. So in this job, we done some build. Okay, and what this build was doing is basically it was taking the code, okay, from the GitHub, and then it's whatever the code they are taking it, like in the workspace, you'll see that index.html file they are getting downloaded. Okay, so this index.html file, they are pasting it in this machine. Okay, Web Jenkins Cloud 19. And since they are pasting here in this /var/www/html location, that's why we are able to see the exact same website at this location. Okay, so this was the flow. But the problem of with this setup was yesterday I showed you that if somebody is doing some changes, okay, like from here, our developer is writing the code and he is modifying the code, like from orange background, he is now going to move to the green color background. Okay. And if he is doing the commit changes, okay, so what is our final goal is as soon as he is committing, okay, it should be updated here, but see it is not getting updated. Okay, then so what we have to do to update this, we have to manually come in our job. Okay, and in this job we have to click on build now. Once we click on build now, then only Jenkins are going to GitHub, and then they are downloading the latest code, and then they are pasting that latest code to that web server machine, and then you'll refresh this page, you'll see that your website is visible Jenkins. Okay, so but what I want is two things we'll be seeing today. One, that how you can schedule your job periodically. Okay, periodically in the sense means take an example. There is some set of tasks, okay, that you want to do on some specific time, like every 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, or just take an example, every minute I want to do some task, or every hour I want to do some task. Okay, or every month on 15th we have to do that task, right? So there can be so many situations in which you can go with the periodically work. Okay, so how to do the periodically build, okay, in the Jenkins. Then the second thing, how to do the webhook trigger based build. Okay, these two things we are going to see today. So up to here, whatever we done yesterday is what clear to all of you? Can anybody confirm? Okay. So what we are going to see is first the periodically one. Okay. So simply come to the Jenkins. Okay. What I want to do is currently in this job, like take an example, I'm going to the test job itself. Okay. So what we detail in the test job, if you remember when I was building this test job, what was happening was if I do console output, there were 4 to 5 Linux command we written, right? pwd date, cal, touch, like that way. Okay. What I want to do is currently what is happening whenever I am clicking on build now, then only this output is coming. Okay. Now just take an example. I want that this build should happen every minute. Like currently this build happen at 2:12. Then again the next build will happen at 2:13, 2:14, like that way. Or take an example. I want that today build happen at March 16. Again after 24 hours there should be a build. Again after 24 hours this build should happen automatically. Okay. So to configure all this type of the situation, simply you have to go to the configure section. Okay. In this configure section, okay, if you'll come down, so see there is an option called build periodically. Okay, you have to simply tick this. Okay, now they are asking what is your schedule. So if you don't know what to write it here, so you can simply do the question mark here. they will give you the option. Like the first section is the minute, hour, date of month, date of week. Okay. What can be the value of the minute? Minute value can be between 0 to 59. Hour value can be 0 to 23. Date of month value can be 1 to 31. Month value can be 1 to 12. And date of week, day of the week value can be 0 to 7, something like this. Okay. Or whenever you are writing the star, that means specified all valid values. Okay, so if you are writing a star, that means it doesn't matter, at every minute it is going to run like that way. Okay, so they are giving you some different example, like if you want to run some code particularly at 12 a.m midnight. Okay, then you can go with this type of the setup. Similarly, if you want to go that on the first, fourth and 31st days of the long month, then you can go with this method. Okay, like this way they given you the different scenario. Like they are saying if you are to run it every 15 minutes. Okay, take an example. If you want to run your code every 15 minutes, okay, build should happen, then you can just simply copy paste this one. Okay, so we can't wait for every 15 minutes here. Okay, it will be long time duration. Okay, to do our practical. So what we are going to do is we'll change it for the 1 minute. Okay, so in place of 15 I'm just writing one. That means every 1 minute it is going to build. Like every 15 minutes they are talking about, we are going with every minute. Okay, now once we return this, and if we'll press here, so you'll see that they are clearly saying, just give us a second. It is taking 1 hour actually. Just give me a second. Let me check. So to build the periodically, all the steps is done something like this. This we are following for every 5 minutes like that way. So every 1 minute should be there. So in place of edge, just write here a star. Okay. And let me just check. Yeah, now they are taking, do you really mean every minute? Okay. So they are even asking us that, do you really want that your build should happen every minute? Because in the usual scenario, we don't do that. Okay. Just to show you, okay, I am just doing this practical here. So we can see like by just waiting for 2 to 3 minutes, we'll be able to see that there are so many builds started to happen. So that's what we are doing. And simply click on apply. Okay. And click on save. That's all. Everything will be the same only. But previously what was happening was every time we are clicking on the build now. Okay. Then only build was happening. But this time what we have to do is we have to just keep wait. Hashtag 4 build happen automatically at 270. Okay. And you'll see that all the console output, everything will be the same. Okay. Hashtag 4. So every command run. Okay. And this command has run at 270. Okay. Now you'll see that after hashtag 4, once currently it is 270, once it will be become 280. Here you can also monitor. Currently it is 747. If it will be 748, then it is going to be automatically build hashtag 5 also. So let's wait for a few more seconds. Okay, see here it becomes 748. Here they run the hashtag 5 build 288. Okay, so like this way they are going to keep continuing. Okay, until and unless we are stopping it. Okay, currently we just given every minute, but in the real world scenario we give the time as like every hour or every day. Okay, or like 15 after 15 days. Okay, like that way we can figure. So you can always take the help of the examples whatever the value they are suggesting you to write. Okay, by just clicking here the question mark. Okay, and there are so many scenarios they discuss. Even to change the time zone, everything they also done. Okay, And even if you'll see in this document also, whatever I talked about here, also I given the different scenario. That take an example, if you want that your job should be run every 5 minutes past every hour. That means scenario is like you have to run your code at 12:05, then 1:05, then 2:05, 3:05, 4:05, like that. Okay. So like this way you can do. So every fifth minute of hour, okay, they are going to run it. Okay. Similarly, if you want to run every day at 8 a.m. in the morning or something, so you can go with this type of the same. Okay. Similarly, to schedule your build for like this many times only. Okay. So how you can do it? So you can write it like this. Okay. So like this way you can try and check. Okay. But again, it will be the time taking process, right? To show you, because I cannot keep waiting for 1 day or 2 day to just show this entire setup, how it is working, right? So just I given the example here. So this is the one thing. Second thing is this build is not beneficial in our GitHub case, because it is going to build every second, right? Since it is going to build every minute, okay, so we don't know that whether our developer is going to write the code every day, every minute, or they are going to update the code every week. Okay, we don't know the scenario. So always keep running this type of the build is not great. Okay, so what I'm just doing is I'm going to the configure, and I am stopping this build periodically option, and I am again clicking on apply and save. So now what I want to do is in this web server deployment job, okay, whenever somebody is doing some changes here, okay, automatically Jenkins should build this from #3, automatically #4 build should happen. How we can do it? So to do this, you have to simply come in the settings. Okay, so see the first thing, you have to fork this repository. Okay, then only you can do the settings, everything. Okay, so just make sure you come to this link and you fork this repository. Then go to the settings. Okay, in the settings, you have to go to the webhook section. Okay, in the webhook section, already in my case there is webhook is there. So simply I'm deleting it first. Okay, now what you have to do is simply click on add webhook. Okay, once you click on add webhook, they are asking for the URL. What URL you have to give it? You have to copy the URL of your Jenkins up to 8080. Okay, just copy this slash and just write here the GitHub dash webhook. Okay, slash. You can match it from here also by written. If you go to trigger a job when new code post to the GitHub repo. Okay, you have to go to the configure section. Go to the settings. Okay, webhooks. Okay, add webhook, write like this up to 8080 and then slash GitHub webhook. Okay, once you've done this, simply you have to click on add webhook. Okay, so from GitHub side, we said that whenever somebody is doing any changes in the code, what you have to do is you have to send a message to this particular URL in the slash GitHub webhook page. Okay, so currently it is not coming as green color. Once it will be successful, then it will become as a green color. So let me refresh this page. So see, now it's coming as green color. That means our Jenkins, our GitHub is able to reach to the Jenkins. Okay, that's why it is coming as green color. Once this thing is done, then you are ready to go. Simply you have to do one more changes in this job. Okay, simply go to the configure section in the web server deployment job, whatever yesterday we created. So here they were taking the code from the GitHub, okay, from this URL, and our branch was main branch, okay. And then there is an option called GitHub hook trigger. Like previously we done the build periodically, right? This time in place of build periodically, we are saying that whenever GitHub will say that new code is pushed, that time only you have to build it. So I'm just enabling this GitHub hook trigger, okay, and that's all. You don't have to do anything here. Apply and save. Now you'll see that interesting thing that currently #3 build happened. Okay, at 2:11. Okay, and currently this is the page deployed here. Okay. Now if somebody like developer, what he's doing is he's going here index.html and he's trying to update the code. Okay. So take an example is changing the color to something like this, red. Okay. And simply commit this change. So he done some changes here. Okay, automatically you see that this git is going to know that there is somebody done some changes. Okay, and #4 build they started. And once this hashtag for build will be completed, automatically you'll see that when some developer or the customer who are seeing our website, they will refresh, they will be able to see the latest content here. So now we don't have to worry about that when developer is posting the code at the midnight or in the morning. Okay. Whenever developer will post the code, our Jenkins pipeline is automatically going to take up. Okay, and they are going to deploy the latest code there in the environment. Okay. So let me show you one more time. So see, it is not like only color you have to do the changes. You can do anything. Okay. Like in place of schedule job, just take an example. I'm writing GitHub webhook. Okay, something like this I written. I will simply do commit changes. Okay. And see, as a customer perspective, you are still seeing the schedule job. You'll refresh this page. Still, you are seeing the schedule job. Just keep refreshing in few seconds. You will see that automatically the website is going to see GitHub webhook trigger job. It came. Okay. So as a customer perspective, we are not going to know that when developer are deploying. Simply, I will refresh the page and we'll see that the latest content is visible here. Okay. So is this part clear? Webhook trigger one to all of you. Is it clear or any confusion? Can you respond in chat that up to here is it clear or do you have any confusion, any question in this? Are there all of you? Is it clear up to here? Just ping in chat. That's all. Got that. Okay. So this was about the webhook. Okay. And just make sure that whenever you are updating this URL, it should be green color. Once it will be green, that then only it is configured. See, it is not like but too much to remember. Uh, it's you didn't not started with the practical for now. Okay, so that's why it is like in this. But once you'll get the things, everything. See, as a DevOps engineer, it is not like you have to remember the step. You have to mug all the things, right? Anytime you will be searching the Google like how to set up the webhook trigger in the Jenkins, like that. Simply you'll see that Git webhook trigger. Just search like this, GitHub webhook trigger for Jenkins. Okay, so if you search this type of the things, you are always going to get the answer, right? There will be so many blogs will be there. See, they are going to show you the all the steps, everything. So you don't have to remember, but you should know only that there is a GitHub webhook type of the thing which can help us to achieve this. That's all. If you know these much things, so anybody can implement it. See, they are directly showing you the example, whatever I shown you. You have to go to the settings, you have to go to the webhooks, you have to go to the payload URL, you have to write it, port 8080. See, they written the exact same thing. In place of IP, they written the domain, then 8080 slash GitHub webhook, right? So exact same thing we done it, right? So it is not like you have to do, and even in the Jenkins side, what you have to do, you have to create a freestyle project that we yesterday already done. Okay. And see GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling, they are selecting it. So just you should know that how to find it answer. It is not like whatever I'm doing, it is only available with me. Nobody other is going to show you. Everywhere you can get it. Okay. Just it's the way how you can find it easily. Okay, so that you have to more focus on. If you know the terminology that there is a GitHub webhook trigger which can help us to automate this process, integration of Jenkins with Git, then well and good. Okay. Nobody in the interview is going to ask you the entire step. If you know the concept, they know that you can implement it. Okay, so just focus on that thing, how we are going to implement all these things. That's all. Okay, now we are going to see a simple pipeline example. Okay. So pipeline, again, what is pipeline? So pipeline, you can think like currently we are just creating a job. Okay. Pipeline is like you are creating a multiple jobs. Okay. So we are saying someone's like that first you have to complete this work, then only you have to go to this work. Okay. Then second work will be completed, then only third work you have to start it. Okay. So if we are going to give three work to a person, like take an example, hypothetically, I given that you have to run three Linux command. One is the cal, one is the date, one is the pwd. Okay, but I am saying first run the cal command. Once the cal command is completed, okay, and its output is coming, then only run the date command. If cal command is failing or something, then you don't have to do the other task. You have to make sure first that first task should be completed, then only you can jump to the second task or the third task. So this type of the concept is known as the pipeline. In the real world scenario, it is so much helpful because see, if take an example, we want to deploy the HTTPD website, right? So all of you know the steps. That first you have to install the HTTPD web server, then you have to go to the //www/html location. There you have to paste a page. Okay, so these all steps everybody know. But just take an example when we are installing the HTTPD software, okay, and due to some reason that HTTPD software installation doesn't happen. Okay, so will you are going to complete the second and third step that I am going to /www/html location, copy pasting the page because it is of no any significance because your first task is sent, HTTPD software itself is not present, then how you can go to that particular directory and upload the code there? Okay, so that's what there in the real world scenario, it is important that we have to complete the task one by one. Okay, once first task will be completed, then only second. So to create a simple pipeline, simply go to the Jenkins. In the Jenkins, you have to go to the dashboard, click on new item, say just like simply hello world pipeline, something like this. Select here pipeline. We are going to create a pipeline. Click on OK. So in the description, just write this is a simple pipeline demo. Come down. There is an option called pipeline script. Here you have to write in the script format. Okay. So you can go with the hello world example. Okay. So just click here hello world. You'll see that there is a script is created like this. Okay. So once you are seeing this type of the script, so what this script is saying, so they are saying that we are going to create a pipeline. That's the pipeline is written. Okay. Isn't any that means we are going to run on any specific machine. It doesn't matter that we have to run on that particular EC2 instances or only. Okay. It can run on the Jenkins machines too, where Jenkins is installed. Then I said that the first stage is like group of tasks which we are going to give you. Okay, so the first task what I am going to give you is the hello. Okay, in this task, what you have to do is simply you have to print the command echo hello world, and you know that there is a command called echo which basically help us to print whatever is printed inside. If we are saying echo hello world, so this task is going to do what? It will print hello world. That's all. Similarly, if somebody want to create one more task, so simply you have to write here STS. Okay. Take an example. If I'm saying that other task for you will be print date. Okay. And we are saying that what you have to do is steps. You have to do sh and you have to run the command called date. That's all. Okay. So date command will be printed. Similarly, the third task I am going to give you something like STS print print date steps sh Similarly, one more stage I am giving stage. So whatever the task you want to do, you can do not only one command, you can run group of command also. Okay. Like if I'm saying print, take an example you have to do is calendar, okay, something like this. And in this, I am writing again that you have to do some steps. What steps you have to do? As such, yeah. Okay, something like this I did. So basically, I created four tasks is there. Okay, one is the hello, second is printed, third is the print date, fourth is the show calendar. Simply click on apply and save. And when I try to click on build now, see what is going to happen. So build is scheduled. It is started to build at that particular time. So this build is completed. So they are saying that you said me to do some complete task. Okay, so the first task you said me to do the hello. Second task you said me to do the print date. Third is print day. Fourth is a show calendar. Okay. Someone want to say something? Okay. So this four task is there. So if I want to see what this hello is done, so simply select here log section. You see that the first task was to print the hello one. So it is just printing the hello. Similarly, if we are talking about the second task, print date, if I'll click here logs, so they are printing the date command output. So that is also working perfectly fine. Similarly, print day, if I'll do, you see they are printing the day, today is Thursday, so they are printing it. Okay, date plus percentage a command. Similarly, the last one we saw about the show calendar, so it is working perfectly fine. It is showing the calendar. Okay. Currently, they completed all the tasks. That's why everything is coming in green color. But just take an example. I'm clicking on configure here. Okay. And I'm doing something wrong. So in this date plus percentage A, I am going to write some different command, some wrong command. Okay, SS something like this. So this is basically a wrong command. So now see what is going to happen. Well, now you'll click on build now. So see, the first two is success, but third and fourth both are failed. Why? Because when first is completed successfully, second is completed successfully, but when they are doing the third one, so there is some error came. Okay, what was the error? Date ss command was not found. That means whatever the command I written here, that is not able to find it. That's why they given the error. And since they given the error at the third step, so fourth step is not going to run even. Okay, so there is nothing happened in this fourth step. Or if you want to see the detailed output, so just close this and come here in the hashtag to down arrow, go to the console output. And you'll see that how it has started to follow. The first task was to hello, so they printed the hello one. Second task you talked about the print date. Okay, so they printed the date here. Okay. Third task you said to date sh. Okay, and since the command not found, and since at the third step only you failed. Okay, and your task is not completed. The fourth stage I am directly skipping it. Okay, because once the third step will be completed, then only I can jump to the fourth step. So since third is not completed, so fourth one I'm directly skipping it, and that's why they are saying a script returned with exit code and finished is failure. Okay, but again, if you'll try to do configure it, and again let me make that code correct, and again do apply set, again do build down, you'll see that everything is going to be successful this time. Okay. So see, every time you are getting this type of the view where you are seeing that, okay, when I was doing the build the first time, everything was successful. When I done the build second time, that time there was two error was there. And the third time when I built, okay, so all the fourth was successful. Again, to see the console output of hashtag 3, just click on down arrow, print this console output, and you will be able to see all those things. Okay. Where we talked about the start of the pipeline, echo first hello world, then it is date plus percentage cal, everything they are doing is step by step. It is not like they are jumping from this date to directly this calendar. No, they have to complete a stage by stage. one by one task. So this was about the simple pipeline. Okay. Similarly, here also I given the example. You can just copy paste it from here also to test it. Just let me check whether I can complete the multi-branch pipeline today or not. Multi-branch pipeline will take time. So multi-branch pipeline and some theory about the Maven that will be going to cover tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Yeah. So tomorrow we'll be going to cover about the multi-branch pipeline and the Maven theory. Okay. And once we'll cover that theoretical part of the Maven in the next class and multi-branch pipeline practical in the next class. Okay. Then on the next week, we'll be going to see the practical of the Maven, in which we'll be going to create we are going to take the two Java project. Okay. One will be the application based Java project and one will be the web application based Java project. Okay. And we'll be uh, running that. Basically, the build file will be created with the help of the Maven. Okay. And we'll try to run the Java application code also after building the code. And similarly, Java web application also after building the code. So these all things will be seeing this, okay, in the upcoming classes. And once the Jenkins will be over, then we'll be start with the Terraform, okay, and Terraform will be our last topic. Okay. So have you started, like anybody installed the Jenkins till now or no? If no, just try to install the Jenkins, okay, by referring to the yesterday lecture, okay, and the document I think already there. So just refer this and try to install the Jenkins first. Okay, at least all of you. Okay. So yeah, that's all from my side for today. Okay. Let's keep short here for today. Tomorrow we'll be going to cover this multi-branch pipeline and Maven theoretical part. Okay. Thanks, Olaf.
Thank you.